My name is Nora Reeds. After going to the swimming pool with my good friend Alexa Stewart, my period was delayed by half a month. Alexa insisted I take a pregnancy test. Seeing the two bright red lines on the test, I was stunned. Although I have a boyfriend, I'm a conservative girl and never went all the way with him. Then whose child am I carrying? My first reaction was to get an abortion immediately. But my boyfriend Chase Scott was worried about my health and was willing to marry me to raise the child together. Until the day of delivery, I lay in the delivery room, extremely weak, but before I even saw the baby, Chase smothered me with a pillow. He pressed his whole body against me, shouting frantically, "UB*TCH, did you really think I wanted to raise that child? Both. You and the baby must die." Having just given birth, I had no strength to fight back and was smothered to death by him. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the moment I just found out I was pregnant. This time, I must find out whose child I'm carrying. I stared blankly at the two lines on the pregnancy test in the bathroom, while outside Alexa kept urging, "Nora, have you checked? Are you really pregnant?" My hand trembled as I looked at the bright red two lines, feeling nauseous and wanting to vomit. In my past life, because of this child, I was forced to take a break from school to prepare for childbirth, and in the end, I was even smothered to death. Until my death, I never knew how I got pregnant, let alone who the father of the child was. Alexa, growing impatient, directly opened the door and came in. But I quickly hid the pregnancy test stick. She looked around curiously and asked, "Where's the pregnancy test? Are you pregnant or not?" I shook my head. I haven't even had sex, how could I be pregnant? Alexa couldn't keep a secret. In my past life, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, she told Chase, which led to everyone knowing about my premarital pregnancy. This time, I don't plan to tell her about it right away. Alexa said a bit disappointedly, "I thought you were really pregnant. I heard Chase is planning to propose to you soon, he'll definitely be happy." My heart sank. How did I not realize before that she likes kids so much? I clenched the pregnancy test in my hand, carefully thinking about everything that happened since my last period. Chase and I only went to the mall twice, and we didn't even kiss. The baby definitely isn't his. And I haven't been alone with any other man. The only person I'm usually closest to is Alexa. But she's a woman, so it's even more impossible. I frowned tightly, suddenly remembering something. Alexa and I went to a swimming pool a month ago. At that swimming pool, I was harassed. A man deliberately swam close to me and even made some particularly lewd gestures. I was shaking with anger, and Alexa was even more furious, scolding him on the spot and driving him away. Later, I didn't feel like showering, so I waited for her in the changing room and ended up falling asleep unknowingly. When I woke up, my whole body was sore, and I thought it was just fatigue from swimming. Looking back now, could it be that I was violated at that time? Thinking of this possibility, I couldn't help but feel a chill all over and immediately went to the hospital. I not only needed to check if I was really pregnant but also something even more important. If I was really violated, there would definitely be traces on my body. I must find that person. After the ultrasound results came out, I was completely devastated. The test results showed the fetus was already 4 weeks old, exactly 1 month. The doctor asked if I wanted to keep it or terminate it, and I immediately scheduled an abortion. No matter whose child this is, I can't keep it. The doctor skillfully scheduled the surgery for me, murmuring softly, "Young girls these days really don't take care of themselves, getting pregnant at such a young age." My cheeks burned, but I couldn't explain. Should I say I have no idea how I got pregnant? I turned around and scheduled a gynecological exam and infectious disease screening. If the person who assaulted me has an STD, the consequences would be unimaginable. The doctor put on gloves and had me lie on the examination bed, but moments later, she frowned deeply. She said, "How is this possible? Your hymen is intact, so how did you get pregnant?" I was stunned too. I had already planned to take the evidence to the police after the examination. But this result was completely unexpected. My hymen is intact, so how did I get pregnant? The doctor comforted me, saying, "Don't worry, it could be because the male organ is too small, so the hymen wasn't torn. This situation of yours is rare, but not impossible." I walked out of the examination room, completely lost in confusion. It's been a month since I went to the swimming pool, and now there's no evidence left. Do I have to terminate this pregnancy? Without knowing the truth and suffer in vain? Chase suddenly called me. After answering, his anxious voice came through the receiver. Nora, where are you? Alexa can't find you and has been calling me non-stop. Did something happen? Only then did I realize Alexa had called me several times, but I didn't hear it because I had silenced my phone in the examination room earlier. Chase's gentle words made my nose sting, but I immediately recalled the scene of him killing me in my past life. He clearly hated me to death, yet he insisted on waiting for me to give birth before killing me. Could this child have something to do with him? I hadn't had time to sort out my thoughts when Alexa's call came in again. As soon as I answered, she scolded me, "Why didn't you pick up? Do you know how worried I was about you?" I completely lost control, tears streaming down my face. In my past life, after I got pregnant by accident, Alexa advised me to terminate it, but I was foolish and insisted on listening to Chase. The doctor said my uterine lining was very thin, and if I terminated the pregnancy, it would be extremely hard to conceive again. Chase also promised to marry me, so I foolishly decided to have the baby. Thinking about it now, how could a man willingly raise someone else's child? Now the only person I can trust is Alexa. I told her I'm pregnant and currently at the hospital. In less than 5 minutes, she rushed over. When she saw me, she hugged me tightly. Being pregnant is a good thing. Stop crying, I'll call Chase over right now. I shook my head and tightly grabbed her wrist. The child might not be his. Alexa was stunned. Are you sure? Then whose child is it? I said, actually, I don't know either. I just want to terminate this pregnancy now. She was silent for a few seconds, then firmly said, no matter what decision you make, I'll support you. The next day's abortion procedure was accompanied by Alexa. But before I entered the operating room, Chase rushed over. He said, wait, Nora, don't go through with the surgery. I'm willing to take care of you and the child. My hand holding the examination report tightened. How did he know I was here? I only told Alexa about this. I turned to look at Alexa, and she was just as puzzled. How did he get here? Chase sat beside me, panting, and held my hand tightly, fingers interlocked. He said, did you forget we set up couple tracking before? I noticed you were at the hospital yesterday and rushed over because I was worried about you. He lowered his head bitterly. I never expected you to be pregnant. I know the child isn't mine since we never had a sexual relationship. But Nora, your health has always been poor. I'm afraid if you terminate the pregnancy this time, it might be hard for you to become a mother in the future. I'm actually a very traditional girl and have no plans to be child-free. But to have a child without even knowing who the father is? I can't do it, I'd rather stay single for life. I slowly pulled my hand back. No, I must terminate this pregnancy. Chase was stunned for a moment and frowned. Why? I clearly don't care anymore, so what are you still worried about? Alexa also softly advised, yeah, Nora, abortion is too harmful to your body. Why don't you think it over again? Your health is already fragile. Chase suddenly snatched the test report from my hand and pulled me up without a word. He said, I won't let you harm your body. Worst case, we'll get married next month. Don't worry, I won't mind. Even if the child isn't mine, I'll still raise them as my own. His words drew the attention of those around us. A nurse said enviously, what a good man, willing to raise someone else's child. If it were me, I would keep the baby since someone is willing to raise them. Although Chase said that, his brow furrowed slightly upon hearing the nurse's words. What he said wasn't sincere at all. He just wants me to have this child and then humiliate me relentlessly. I let out a cold laugh and said, you have the nerve to say you despise me? Let's break up. My business is none of your concern. After saying that, I got up and left under his astonished gaze. I must figure out what exactly Chase has to do with the child in my belly.